Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that the total sum to be allocated for Head P of the estimates be reduced by $100. The home team has developed a hard-earned reputation of maintaining a high standard of law and order in Singapore, despite running a lean workforce. In the Gallup Global Law and Order Report 2020, Singapore was ranked first for the 7th year running. In the World Justice Project's Rule of Law Index 2020, Singapore was ranked first in the area of order and security. These are highly commendable outcomes that did not come easy. They arose through the blood, sweat, and tears of our home team and MHA officers. They deserve the appreciation of all Singaporeans. Yet, circumstances are such that the home team cannot afford to sit on its laurels. I note that it has, some time ago, in anticipation of a manpower crunch, expended efforts to set up the HTX and tap on technology, robotics, and automation as force multipliers. The demands on home team, however, are ever rising. How is the home team striking the right balance between the competing demands while it endeavors to keep Singapore safe and secure? The ambition of security and safety appears to be simple, but it's anything but. When the transformation in 2025 was announced in 2015, there were 4 planks which were discussed: manpower constraints, high expectations of public, increased load, and emerging threats. The demographic decline of Singaporeans had meant that there were fewer each year to take up the role of police officers. The ever-rising expectations of public, this is true not just of policemen, but of all public officers. But given the nature of the work that the police do, where the darkest, most secret part of human interactions come to light, the expectations of members of the public are escalated manifold. Our officers must be a mix of psychologist, social worker, community partner, law enforcer, and a friendly but authoritative face. Added to all that, the policeman must be a hero next door. Because there is more work and more intense work, you cannot be an ordinary man or woman to be a police officer. The nature of crime that police now face is not just the traditional dangers of crime, such as violence or drug taking, but the new and rising threats, such as cybercrime. Technology gives a new twist to old threats too. For example, the terrorist threat Singapore faces today remains as high as it was 20 years ago, when ISD thwarted Jemaah Islamia's plans to attack an MRT station and several foreign embassies in Singapore. Just a few weeks ago, ISD once again thwarted the plans of a youth who became self-radicalized through online sources and intended to attack 2 mosques on the anniversary of the Christchurch mosque attacks. Today, attacks may be more difficult to preempt or prevent. There are also exogenous and external challenges too, because Singapore is a porous country and a global transport, transshipment, and financial hub. What additional efforts will be taken to invest in and upgrade the skills of our home team officers? How is it equipped to handle the ever more challenging cases for investigation, especially white-collar crime and online scams? Huge effort has to be expended in investigations before such perpetrators can be brought to book. I do recall the Honourable Minister highlighting this in this House, the heavy workload of our police investigators, and that he asked for a review to get a better sense of the pressure faced by police officers, particularly due to lack of manpower resources. How are we proposing to support our officers to ensure that not only their input will be of the highest quality in keeping with public expectations, but their well-being is also protected? As I mentioned earlier, the police has already started leveraging on technology and made significant progress. The challenge now, given the drivers for change, is to make an even more transformational change so that these officers undertake their duties not as mere mortals, but what I term as hyperhumans, with eyes and ears of sensor systems, closed-circuit TV, live feeds and police cameras. They should have arms and legs of new pistols, new fighting skills, new submachine guns and carbines, new brains of analytics, data, increasing automation, almost like Robocop, but perhaps a more friendly version of it. All these requires new skills and training, and people will be the key to the successful transformation. Police officers already have hearts of steel, and we need to support, train, and encourage these officers because they are few in number, even as the load becomes more heavy, the criminals more nefarious, and the public expectation ever higher. At the same time, we need to ensure that there continues to be a high level of trust among Singaporeans on the home team's integrity and professionalism. Otherwise, whatever transformation that will be undertaken will not work. I look forward to hearing the Honourable Minister's plans on supporting the home team transformation. Sir, I beg to move.